Very good morning to you, Mr. Al-Halou. I want to start by asking you same questions, really. The sixth week of this exchange, what's your analysis as to how it's all been going as the first phase of this ceasefire?
Well, we are relieved that the tension is diffused because military pressure for the past 15 months did not work. And we are happy to see hostages released. We are happy to see Palestinian hostages and political prisoners are released, because there are around 14,000 Palestinian political prisoners held in Israeli jails. Israel keeps arresting Palestinians across the West Bank. So the fragile ceasefire is being implemented thanks to the efforts of the mediators. Now the test is on the second phase, because both sides have been accusing each other of violating the terms of the ceasefire. Hamas says that Israel did not allow enough quantities of tents, caravans, aid trucks, fuel trucks, spare parts needed for repair of electricity and water stations, as well as allowing the construction materials to start, helping people to go back to normality. The world has been watching this genocidal war streamed live on air. We hope that the reconstruction of Gaza will start as soon as possible, because people are displaced, they are homeless. We would like to see this ceasefire to be implemented smoothly without obstacles, because everybody agrees, including your previous guest, that Netanyahu is the main obstacle. He keeps putting more conditions. He doesn't want to submit to Hamas's conditions. He seems weak, and he's facing, blames from his government officials.
You're talking there about President Trump's comments about his plans for Gaza, for the reconstruction of Gaza. Arab nations are said to be furious about those comments, and Saudi Arabia is spearheading efforts for Arab states to develop their own plan for Gaza. What do you think that could look like? What does it need to look like?
Well, first of all, birds with wings in Gaza will not leave Gaza. Gazans are not willing to become refugees again after their ancestors experienced the Nakba in 1948. The reconstruction of Gaza can begin while Palestinians in Gaza are present. Both governments in Egypt and Jordan, they stressed that they reject Trump's idea, because it doesn't make sense, because the U.S. supplied Israel with tons of bombs to level Gaza, and now Trump wants to show his kindness to the Palestinians of Gaza, to remove the rubble and to rebuild what Israel has destroyed. Now, the stance of the Arab governments is clear. There is no, it's not possible to force Palestinians to be displaced to neighboring countries, because this will not solve the problem. The root cause of the problem, the conflict, is the Israeli occupation of the Palestinian territories. Gaza is still occupied, despite the fact that Israel claims that it withdrew its forces back in 2005. Israel still controls Gaza's airspace, territorial waters, and border crossings. The Palestinians of Gaza, 2.3 million people, will not leave. But if the US or Israel push Palestinians to leave, how this is going to happen? Is it by busing them to the Egyptian side, by airlifting them? Is Europe willing to absorb Palestinians? Does the UK willing to absorb thousands of Palestinians? I'm British citizen myself. Can I bring my family here, for example? So the vast majority of Palestinians are not going to leave. This is the whole point.
So you think that any counter-proposal from Arab nations it would have a red line around that no Gazans should be made to leave Gaza for reconstruction of it? But would any counter-proposal from Arab states to what President Trump is proposing necessarily need to sideline Hamas?
You see, there is consensus that, any political solution should include Hamas, because they are part of the Palestinian people. They are not ISIS coming from abroad, for example, and they are part of the fabric of the Palestinian society. And they have already rejected this idea to live outside Gaza, because Israel has killed so many Palestinians, and those orphan children, they will become fighters in the future. So we are again back to square zero. The solution to this conflict requires Israel to end its occupation, to lift the prolonged siege, because what happened on the 7th of October, as many analysts describe, is a prison break. Those people are descendants of refugees. They wanted to go back to their ancestral lands, towns, and villages that they were forced to leave in 1948. So any solution requires the conciliation and to negotiation between Hamas, Fatah, the Palestinian Authority, Arab countries. The Arab countries, they said that they are willing to normalize ties with Israel only after Israel ends its occupation and allows Palestinians to have a sovereign Palestinian state, which Israel has been rejecting. Israel has killed the two-state solution. Some come up with one democratic secular state for all of its citizens, regardless of ethnicity, color, or race.
Are you optimistic that this will get to the second phase?
It's not easy. We might, again, witness some obstacles because, again, Netanyahu doesn't want to appear weak because he was forced to accept this ceasefire, which not in his interest, but because he was calling for an ultimate victory, and this did not happen. Hamas is still powerful on the ground. They staged their parades, and they are in full control. They imposed law and security now in Gaza, and they are the ruling party. So again, he didn't achieve any of his political gains. So he's going to sabotage the next phases, I think.
All right, Mr. Al Halout, thank you very much for speaking to us on Sky News this morning.